Welcome, my American Chinese tourists. Good morning. My name is TJ Bolkin, your tour guide for today. I work at a travel agency for like 4 years and counting, and today I have the pleasure to tour you around San Agustin Church here in Intramuros. So before we start exploring, please be mindful of your belongings and follow rules and regulations. Okay, I'll just give you a bit of background of this church.
2 seconds later.
San Agustin Church was built in 1571 and the materials used were bamboo and nipa, but it was destroyed by fire in December 1574 during the attempted invasion of Manila by the forces of Limahong. So some of you don't know about Limahong. Limahong, or well known as Ahong, was a Chinese pirate and warlord who invaded the northern Philippine Islands in 1574. Going back, a second wooden structure was built on the same site but destroyed later in February 1583 by a fire that started when a candle ignited drapery on the funeral bier. During services for Spanish Governor General Gonzalo Roquillo de Peñalosa. Talk about bad luck, right? Another thing about this church is that this church was one of the 4 Philippine churches constructed during the Spanish colonial period to be designated as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. If you imagine the amount of destruction throughout the years was devastating, to say the least. So the Agustinians decided to rebuild the church using stones and construct to adjacent monastery. The construction began in 1586 based on the design by Juan Machas. The structure was built using hewn adobe stones quarried from Maykawayan, Binangonan, and San Mateo Rizal. There, that is a short background of building the church.
2 seconds later.
As y'all can see, the outer facade of this church is massive and was built well. Also, let us notice the entrance doors and its magnificent design. So, are we all ready to proceed and enjoy the wonderful historical experience of this church?
Yeah!
Amazing! So before we enter, just few rules in mind. Let us speak in minimal volume to give respect to the churchgoers who are inside. Let us refrain from restricted historical items. Taking pictures is allowed, but please turn off the flash and also no smoking in the vicinity. Anybody who needs to smoke now, please find the nearest smoking area outside and we will wait for you to finish.
A few moments later.
Alright, let's go inside and follow me.
A few moments later.
As you can see on the entrance, there's 2 columns of seats for the churchgoers, and each side has the designated altars for the people to give praise and pray for the one who is at the altar. There are also 3 chandeliers hanging above the ceiling. Aren't the chandeliers beautiful? The ceiling is an illusion that is embossed, but it is just a painting, and it is a style called Trump Ioli. Fun trivia about this place: the tomb of the Spanish conqueror Miguel Lopez de Legazpi can be found here. Did you know, guys and gals, that he was advised to go back to Spain? But he stayed as he felt like when he leaves, then he's also going to leave his victory behind. What can you say about Miguel's decision? Any opinions? Or violent reactions or whatsoever? So, no one? Yeah, so for me, just to answer my own question, if I'm not mistaken, he made that decision so that he could preserve his hidden treasures during the British invasion in the year 1762. Another fact about the church, if you're planning to have a wedding here, you should plan it a year before the wedding and it will cost around 100,000 pesos. So that'll be $2,080 to be exact. Other than that, there's this yearly rental for the burial prominent people at the church catacombs, which we will not go there because it's restricted. So, okay, I'll give you 15 minutes to roam around and take pictures. And for the Catholics, you can pray.
15 minutes later.
So, I expect that everybody's done and that took pictures or prayed. We can now proceed to our very last portion of the tour. This time, we will go outside of the church and visit Casa Manila. Casa Manila is a museum that was built 1850 and it is one of the famous museums around Intramuros. Basically, here you can witness and imagine what it was like to live in Intramuros and the years immediately before the Philippine Revolution of 1896 and to be rich then. It also triggers a feeling of nostalgia, a luxury feeling in these harassed times for an era they've only read in history books. Casa Manila typifies the house of the Filipino ilustrado and affluent class bred by the opening of Manila to world trade in the late 19th century. So now we can go inside, but remember the rules I have mentioned earlier. I'll give you 45 minutes to explore around and take pictures of the museum. Remember, no flash, okay? I'll just wait here downstairs and enjoy the culture of Intramuros.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Now we are all back. Before we formally end this tour, I'd like to take this opportunity to take some pictures with you all, and I hope you all enjoyed this wonderful tour. So come on guys, let's take a picture. So, to end this tour, it's been a pleasure, and again, I am TJ Balkin, and I'm your tour guide for today. Bye-bye.